You know, throughout history, most professional relationships have started with a smile and a handshake. But as the digital world progresses and planet Earth seems to become a much smaller place, we have to rely on a different style of making connections and ensuring customer satisfaction. And this is where you come in. In most call center situations, you're not going to have the opportunity to speak to the same consumer more than once. And that also means that that same consumer is only going to hear your voice one time in their entire life. So with that being said, the famous quote, "You never have a second chance to make a first impression," is especially accurate in this situation. Well, that definitely sounds like a lot of pressure. And you know what? That's not even the hard part. Now you're going to have to make that same first impression with the customer never even being able to see your face.
You hate me, don't you?
No, I don't hate you.
He hates me.
And before you say, "Whoa, what do you think I am, some magic psychic?"
Tell me why I'm here first.
You're here because you want something.
Just remember that you subject yourself to non-visual communication every single day. Well, think about how music makes you feel. You hear it constantly in one form or another. Sometimes you get to see the artist and you get to see their expressions, but in most cases you can't. And they're trying to project a mood or a feeling with only their words, just like you. So scientifically, how does music affect your mood? Well, there's two ways. The answer is rhythm and tone. And you're going to be doing the exact same thing with your voice. You express your mood with your vocal tone and also the rhythm of your voice, also known as a vocal cadence.
And shuffling her feet, singing do-a-dee-dee-dum-dee-doo. She looked good, she looked good, she looked fine, looked fine, looked good, she looked fine, and I nearly lost my mind. Before I knew it, she was walking next to me, singing do-a-dee-dee-dee-dum-dee-doo.
I know. You're like, "Jason, but we know all this stuff." But how do we go about it? Well, I'm going to show you how to apply it.
But Jason, how can I build a relationship with somebody using only my voice when you yourself said, "I'm only going to speak to this person one time. I'd rather get them off the phone than deal with all this"?
Well, I guess what I would say is, if you're not interested in helping somebody solve a problem, you may want to think about a different profession. In my opinion, the first step to building a relationship over the phone is going to be the goal. What do you and your client want from this phone call?
What's your point, Vanessa?
From my experience, there are 3 different types of calls that you're probably going to encounter every day. The 3 different types of calls are informational, sales, and technical. Let's explore these 3 different types of relationships. Informational. Informational calls are probably the most common type of calls that are going to deal with repeat business. People that are making these types of calls are usually preparing themselves for a future incident.
Hey there, how are ya? I'm just calling because I'm wondering about the warranty on my item. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just wondering what I'm covered for.
Sure, I'd be happy to help you with that. Let me take a moment and do some research. These are the easiest calls to build a relationship with. With these types of calls, you want to assure the customer that we are here to help. The next type of call that we're going to deal with is sales. Let me start off by saying every single call that we talk about is going to require confidence. But in sales, it is especially important.
Yeah, hi, I'm just calling about item number 575 out of your Christmas catalog. I'm just wondering what you can tell me about it in full detail.
Ah, I'm glad that you asked about that particular item. It actually comes in 3 different colors and has 17 variations.
Well, I just have to remark upon something, young man. Your confidence has inspired me. And I just want to say, put me down for 3.
And if you are not knowledgeable in your product, you will not be confident. The tone of your voice will project uncertainty and make the customer feel unsure about their purchase. And this will most likely make them seek outside assistance. And I guarantee you the assistance is going to come from one of your competitors. Just remember, you are the professional. And the last type of call that we're going to talk about is technical. These can be the most challenging calls out of all the calls. These are the calls that you have to pull out all the stops. You have to reach into your bag of tricks and realize that all of your training comes down to this.
Jesus H. God!
What the hell happened?
I don't know.
You're going to use confidence. You're going to use your knowledge. You're going to use your rhythm and your tone. And one you cannot forget about, empathy. I mean, we all know what empathy is, right? Essentially, it's putting yourself in the other person's shoes. Try to feel how they feel in this particular situation. Remember, technical calls are always because somebody needs your help. And let's face it, before they dial that phone number, they have already exhausted all of their options. And they might be pretty emotional or just downright annoyed.
Boy, they just don't make you mower like they used to. Husqvarna? Well, it sounds like a damn colt. I better get my friend Jason on the phone.
Since technical is the most difficult, let's talk about some de-escalation and some relationship building skills. We've already talked about sounding confident, using statements like, "I'm positive I can help you with this." Or, "By the time we're done, you'll be on the right track." Just remember never to promise anything that you are not 100% confident in saying. Use empathetic statements such as, "Yeah, if that happened to me, I'd be upset also." Or, "Oh my goodness, I know exactly how you feel." And remember, use a good cadence with your voice. Avoid words like, I don't know, I have no idea. Breaking your rhythm can be detrimental to controlling the call. Also, know your customer's tone. You're not going to talk to Grandma Betty the same way you talk to Football Joe. And always be respectful. Try to personalize the call. Ask them about their day. You know where they're calling from. Talk to them about the weather. Or maybe their favorite sports team. Or even their favorite food. What are they having for dinner? What you're trying to do is make this call more personal and build a relationship. Anything to avoid sounding like a robot. And whenever possible, use compliments. This will help lower their anxiety and decrease their frustration. Talk about the item that they're calling about, but talk about it in a positive light. "The item that you have is one of my favorites. You have great taste. I'm surprised it's giving you a problem. Let's get that fixed." Or, "I see you're calling from Idaho. What a beautiful state." All you're trying to do at this point is find a common ground. I mean, isn't that how most relationships start anyways? Because you and the other person has something in common? Another valuable technique is trying to paint a bigger picture. Although you don't want to come across like you're minimalizing their problem. Use examples that you've heard in the past. Use examples that you're already familiar with that have much bigger problems. But don't use your own company in the example of the bigger problem. You don't want your customer to think that your products are faulty. So use examples like, I'm surprised that the brakes on your Dodge are squeaking. My buddy's engine blew in his Ford last week. So at least it's not that. Yours is an easy fix. Obviously, not all calls are going to be positive, and not every single customer is going to want to build a relationship with you. And due to your company's policies, you're not going to be able to give every single customer everything that they want. I mean, we are running a business here. Yes, your job is to build a relationship, but also coming to an understanding that can satisfy the customer as well as the institution that you work for. Sometimes it's a fine line in a very delicate ecosystem. All you have to do is go into each call with the mindset of, how can I help this person? And how can I say yes to their needs? If you go into each call looking for ways to deny the customer, then they will definitely push back and you will most certainly have a bad time.
Okay, you see what he did? He French fried when he should have pizzaed. You French fry when you pizza, you're gonna have a bad time.
And besides, looking for ways to say no, that's warranty's job. Come on, I'm joking here. Remember, we're all a team, and that should reflect in every single department of your company. If you master the skills that we have talked about today, then I am certain that your call relationships will be way more positive. Just keep in mind that respect is never just given, it is earned. And in my eyes, the customer has already earned my respect by spending their hard-earned money on our product. So let's give them the respect of a positive phone experience during their time of need. Thank you so much for taking a few moments out of your day to listen to this presentation. I hope it helped, and I hope you can take some of these skills to the phones. In the words of the great Jerry Springer.
Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.